This is the Ancient Texan, June 3rd. I think it's a Thursday. I have a simple question for you today. Is Joe Manchin from West Virginia a hero or a villain? He's from a state that is mostly Republican, and he's a surviving Democrat. So to survive, he's got to keep Republicans and Democrats happy. That's pretty amazing in its own right, that somebody can actually keep both sides happy. So if you're a Democrat, you probably think he's the villain because he's what's standing in the way of getting Joe Biden's package for infrastructure, for more COVID relief, for changing our welfare system, expanding it, more child care. Joe Manchin stands in the way. He insists that we try to get a compromise with the Republicans. Republicans, almost all of them are pretty much dedicated to just stopping Biden from doing anything. So I thought getting that first COVID package, which can be passed without 60 votes in the Senate, it's a budget item that can be passed by just simple majority. I thought that was a mistake not to get the Republicans involved right after they had, some of them had voted to impeach Trump. I thought we needed to build on that amendment, and even if we only got half of the COVID relief, I thought, boy, this is a time if you're ever going to get cooperation and get the ball rolling, that was the time. But apparently I was the only one that thought that. Now, Joe Manchin is going to make us all play that game. So, what do you think is more important? Getting compromise, getting people to work together, getting away from our tribal roots, or getting Joe Biden's package passed? I suspect most of you think getting Joe Biden's package passed. I have very few conservative, if any, that listen to this. Most of the people I know that listen to this are liberal, listen to my podcast. Not that that's a big crowd. But I think I would come on the side of getting some dialogue between Republicans and Democrats and independents is more important than actually passing Joe Biden's package. Not that I don't think it's important what Joe Biden's trying to do. He's trying to ease the wealth inequality and the infrastructure package. I think it's important. But I think it's more important to find a smaller package, which they're still talking the Republicans 900 billion. They're still talking $1 trillion for infrastructure. Now, that's still real money. That trillion here and $1 trillion there, and you're talking serious money. I actually think it's more important that they find a way to work together and set a precedent than it is whether Joe Biden gets what he wants. That's a radical view, but I don't think we can function as a country for a long haul with this polarized tribalism. I think the country's kind of breaking at the seams at the moment. It's being held together by a lot of tradition, and it was held together by a lot of Republicans that verified the election was valid, while other Republicans were trying to pull it apart. But the tribalism goes on both sides. It is as bad on the Democratic side and MSNBC as it is on Fox and the Republican side. Social media, wow. I went to a social media page. I can think of the name of it. That's a Republican social media page. I'll think of it later and give it to you. But wow, it's some insane stuff going on over there on the conspiracy theories, and that most Republicans believe Trump won the election. I think that's insane, but they must think I'm insane and having 2 points of view on what the facts are. I don't think we can make it as a country like that. I think long term, the net result of that doesn't matter how good an infrastructure package you have, it's going to fall apart. So I'm for Joe Manchin somehow making this cooperation and compromise happen. I am all behind him, and I think that's more important than the Democrats getting their way. That's pretty simple, lays it out there. But that's my values. My values, my judgment says that's more important. Where are you? What do you think?